since I've been in Dota. Esports even longer than that.
I'm approaching a decade, I've realized. Like, since that first moment where I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go try and play Han. Like, that was...
Yep.
Oh, no, you know what it was? Sorry, I'm not quite there yet.
No.
10 years since I graduated high school. This last summer. Wow, okay. It's a long time, if you think about it. Like, 10 years. So he was really hoping to accomplish a lot in that time. And all I've made was me, not million. I was gonna be a millionaire by 21.
Yeah. How's that working for you?
Trying to be a millionaire by 35.
Oh, good luck with that.
And a half. Huh?
You know my first competitive game that I played was in 2002.
Wow.
Which is also the same year that I graduated from high school.
There you go.
So
wow, that was
that's how long I started in esports back then.
Are you 34?
Yeah.
Is your age public? Hang on.
What? What?
Dire team pick.
33.
Yeah, I turned 34 this year.
Wow.
Yeah. So when you have everyone else out there going, man, Toby is so out of touch with like Dota, it's like, it's because I'm old.
This makes a lot of sense. It's funny though how time distorts as you get older, right? Like, you think
really?
Your 30s
are you old enough to experience this yet?
I don't know. But like when I'm young, right? You think of like 30 is like shit starts going downhill. 40, you might as well be dead, right? Everyone's like, oh, you know what? I just want 60 good years. That's all I need. But you know what? Then you turn 59. All of a sudden, it's like, you know, maybe I could do with like 11, 21 more years. Point is, as you get older, you start to realize like, man, no one had any answers. Everyone was just totally full of shit about all the things they thought about life and how it would be good and what would change and what to do. Like, the teachers I had didn't know any better than me. They were like 24. They're my age.
5 seconds remaining.
Uh-huh.
Ridiculous.
It's the realization that with age does not come wisdom and knowledge.
Well, it's also literally because your perception of time changes, because every year that you live is another year of life experience you have. Thus, the next year is proportionately less time than the one you had previously lived. That's why it makes sense that a summer could be an eternity when you're 11, and a year could go by like that when you're 60. Because comparatively, that summer is actually more time out of your total lifespan.
Oh. One day when you're older, you'll be able to make sense of what you said.
That makes total sense. I actually ran through my head. It works. Doesn't matter.
You know,
Bane Phoenix.
Let's get back to Dota. That's what we're here for, all right? And
well, we're already into that second bullshitting phase where you have now another 3 minutes to kill.
For those that didn't tune into Game 1 to hear all of that, yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, it's the bad phases. They take forever. Like this is the one gripe I have. I mean, at the same time, drafts, you can't really take time away from the draft, but maybe you can.
Maybe
from this phase.
Maybe there's a way to speed it up, kind of thing, without having to reduce the time. So it's like, you know what? Each team locks in all 3 of their first bans at the same time.
I wouldn't mind if the extra time was variable. Because I feel like there are some picks where you should be giving extra time and sort of promoting discussion, and others where there shouldn't be like any at all. Like personally, those first 2 bans of the game, like you need 5 to 10 seconds of reserve time, tops.
Yeah.
But if you give 35 for the first ban of the game, a team can take it, and they would. There's no real reason a team should not use all of their free time per ban, like TEAMTEAM just did. 35 seconds to ban Earth Spirit. They might have known that would have been their ban 30 seconds ago, but more time to think, more time to talk.
It's kind of interesting. Like, I never thought about incrementally gained reserve time. Like, one ban comes through, boom, instantly go, boom, instantly go. Like, you got plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, plus 20, plus 20.
Well, it's also just, I just feel like this phase should have less free time. But that would be a cool concept, to make it like chess, where you have a set time, and then you get time as you click. So there's like an incentive. And that goes back to the whole discussion about player toxicity and maintaining a healthy environment in pubs. It's not about like punishing.
10 seconds
You take too much time, you're punished. You have less time, you run out of time. But
if you take less time, you get something in return.
Exactly. There's no positive return on being a fast or efficient drafter. Why would I save my free time when it gives me nothing? That's 70 seconds Team just used that freely talking. Maybe they get something out of it the same way.
I like this concept.
Yeah.
I like this concept. Can someone please make this visible to Valve, aka post a Reddit thread? That's the way it happened. Clip up Kyle's idea.
Remember, you, loyal viewer, have actually absolutely no power. But if you combine with enough of your friends,
exactly,
for just a little bit of time on one tiny corner of the internet, you will have the ability to move mountains.
And you just got to give it like a really cool title of like new concept drafting reward based. That's kind of what you need. Like or like just say like Kyle says me do this. Like
I think I am not a psychologist, but I would guarantee that there is a study that's been done that demonstrated people are more likely to do good things if rewarded for it. At a certain point, as an example, right? You littering, picking up litter, like you're gonna be you're gonna make sure all your trash is taken care of at a beach, right? Try and keep it clean.
Yeah.
But you do that for maybe a couple of months, and the beach gets really shitty, and then suddenly there's trash everywhere. You're a hell of a lot less incentivized to do your part because you see so many other people that aren't doing theirs and kind of ruin it for everyone. Just like one player looking at you, Venom, can ruin the pub experience for a whole community. I was thinking maybe he was cosplaying, right? Because that movie came out. Maybe there was like this weird cross promotion or something. But no, he's just an asshole.
Okay, let's get back to Dota.
We are about Dota. We're talking about. Oh yeah, you're right.
Dota. You're talking about drama. Like that doesn't have.
It's not drama. It was one guy that chose to run down mid for like an entire 2-day period because he doesn't like the members of his community, and instead of handling it like a mature adult, he decided to just rage.
Let's move on. I want to talk about the actual this game that's sitting in front of us. If we want to be a little bit more specific about things, we have an anti-Marga.
True.
Coming in from TEAMTEAM. So Sammy Boy, we've seen him on many heroes who was just like, I just got to build up, take some time, farm up. Bane and Phoenix, first time we see these supports. Centaur for Brax. First time we'll get to see him on that.
Could be a Phoenix too. I actually think it should be a Phoenix.
You think it's actually a 4-position Centaur?
Yeah. I think it's better than this game because if you're Medusa, if you're playing Centaur against Medusa, you're going to suffer in the lane. And I like the idea of the hero because you're going to buy a Crimson, yada yada, maybe a Halberd. But I just feel like Phoenix is so much more valuable in this sort of game. Because by the time a Centaur is valuable, Medusa is going to have like 4 items in age.
Yeah.
Sad.
But at least TEAMTEAM have a better answer to the Medusa, even though, like, obviously, like, other game was what it was. But the anti-mage, after getting the Manta style, like, is able to just wreck apart the Medusa, and that just hurts the rest of Gambit if they group up on top of them.
Yeah, and Bane also much better against Medusa. Coddle is. All of your spells do a ton of work against the Medusa. Mostly the grip that also
even
drains
Phoenix just slow down her attack, slow down anything you possibly can.
Dire team ban.
Monkey King is going to come in for Gambit.
That was like we were saying in that game they had. It was last game where they loved this Dusa Monkey King. They like picking Dusa with a hero like Lycan or Monkey King that either effectively guarantees the ability. It really, they both do the same thing in that you guarantee take a fight in an area for a set amount of time, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I also like the synergy that comes along with the Tusker. Monkey King pops ultimate. Like, I don't have to hide inside of a Shadow Blade. You can just keep him inside the Snowball. Same for the Medusa. If Anti-Mage wants to initiate in, you can just create a little bit more havoc for them. And that's when Dazzle could just really step up to the game as well. Like, if he'd support or core, probably core.
Yep.
Like, Shallow Grave could just make life really, really difficult. Even the burst heals, you get 3 heroes inside of a Snowball, then Dazzle burst heals. That's a lot of physical damage. Slaughter was the ban, so that was probably their problematic rotator. Not to mention Amplify, not to mention the permabash that Slaughter's able to achieve. It's ridiculous.
I don't even know if Gambit's like looking for that though. I think you already have so much physical damage, you don't need any more. Beastmaster in the pool?
No, he got taken out.
Yeah,
but the Slaughter is like, it's not just about that damage amplification. It's like that, like every 4 hits, you're guaranteed a stun. I was watching the master Sing Sing playing Slaughter, and he went 2 moon shards, and it was permabash. I actually haven't seen a proper permabash in a very long time, and he just got it.
It happens.
Yep.
Axer, maybe not tied. I think you Axe or you DK here.
Okay.
I'd like a little more amp. If they had a Beastmaster, they'd have a pretty close to perfect draft. But
how do you see the positions then working if you want an Axe? Like, do you see Dazzle moving into a support role? Do you see Axe actually running as a combo with the Dazzle?
I'd play like Dazzle 4. But you could theoretically core Monkey King and Dazzle. I guess that's fine because Dazzle crushes AM. Yeah, you can pick a support.
Or go Puck. They get a silence. They get a little bit more of a lock-in control through the Dream Coil. They get an instant cancel on the Bane.
I like it a lot if it's a support Puck now. I'm very concerned for a core Puck in this against AM. It just feels rough. Although, you know what? We'll see. I'm pretty sure that's a Puck mid. They've done some cool things with the lanes.
Puck mid, Deuce is safe.
Deuce is safe because you know you're against a Centaur. You really like that Deuce versus Centaur matchup.
Do you like to have like the melee versus melee though? Like Monkey versus Centaur if you just have that little bit of extra control from a Poison Touch of Dazzle? Is it enough or is Centaur just too thick hide?
I think Monkey King beats Centaur too pretty hard. I'd argue Monkey King's actually better off. But it's more about not getting an unfavorable matchup, and Medusa can't really just like go mid or go off lane.
Well, but Puck,
Monkey King also crushes.
Puck is an older school off lane. Can function. I don't know as how well you'll function up against an anti-mage and Bane safe lane.
I guess is a good mind.
That's just for some reference to Kyle's probably a little tired. He only slept for a couple of hours.
Oh,
that was a perfect yawn into the mic.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, because you had to go back to the airport at 2 a.m. to pick up your bag that got lost.
Yeah, my bag didn't make it from Poland, so I just go to the back for the next flight.
I went to sleep at the same time as you picked up your bag.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, the problem was then I was active, and then I didn't get to sleep until like 5. I was just jet lagged. Because that was like my task, so I did it, and I was, wait, I'm awake. My body is still... That song actually was going through my mind yesterday.
Let me know.
My mind wanted sleep. Yeah. Anyway, Team, I don't think they know what Gambit's doing, thus they don't know what they're going to do in response. The simple
they
answer...
just have to get a mid, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's it. Like
TA is like your Dolt's Guide to Drafting says they went Puck. I picked TA.
Yeah, where's that sponsor of the tournament, SAP, that suggests that you pick Templar Assassin.
You may now
but Team says, screw to what you think. That's actually going to be a Marana for Roya.
Yeah, that's his go-to when you're in this position where it's like, I have really no idea what we need, what to pick, how to win this game. You don't know what your matchup is, you just take Marana. It's like the Sumail, Yawar, Ryoya, all these players, they always go back for what I would just call like the staple. And a lot of past patches, it was Shadow Fiend. There's a period...
I haven't seen enough of SF anymore.
Yeah, there's a period where it was TA too. It was like, oh, we don't know what to pick. I'll just go TA. Like Ember's been there. Like Razor sometimes, but...
Yeah, I'm very happy to never see Razor picked. I find that is the most boring here. Like, Templar hasn't got a Psyblade attacks that she can do. Like, the imbalance with denying and still spilling Psyblade damage. That's cool. Marana can Moonlight Shadow, get her team to be aggressive. Let's leap into an arrow at Starfall damage. Razor is just like, I'll walk with you.
What do you mean,
It's the static link.
Well, sure.
That's it. Like, his base damage at the beginning doesn't mean anything, right? It's like an OD who has to slowly build up.
Is pretty boring.
But at least OD has something like with Astral and Prison, but Razor's literally just, I run at you, and every now and then, I'm going to crap lightning. Yeah, I don't like the hero. I find him so boring to comment. That animate set looks...
I had that same thought. We got to get a zoom in when the game starts.
Special request. What the hell is that face piece? I think the Tuska's headpiece is also very... That's definitely immortal.
It's a blue. Special set. I could be wrong.
It looks special. You'll have to click on it and have a look. Because I'm on board with it. It's on you, Kyle. You have a duty to to the cosmetic world of Dota 2. This is what gives Dota money. This is why TI has such a great big prize pool. For transact.
You have my thanks.
All right. Let's have a. All right. So the. Okay, that's a lot of things unlocked. That's the Tuskar's headpiece. But what's the item? What's the item on his head? Okay, it's just a mythical. Yeah, it's not an immortal. It's a mythical. The helm of the guarded word. The whole set is the helm. Is the guarded word.
Oh yeah, and the AM headpiece is a blue as well. Mask of the Dragon's Disciple.
That looks really cool.
It looks really cool.
I love his blades. Like his blades are so badass. Mask of the Dragon's Disciple. What's and that's then just it's the immortal on him. And then he's just got these two badass like Blade of the Survivor. All right. Well, I think we just helped sell some cosmetics to the couple of thousand people who are currently watching.
No, they're gonna pick Animage too. Oh, we're some.
Steady now.
What have we done? What have we done? Well, once you buy the cosmetic, that's when the player rate goes up in pubs. Everybody picks. Except not in our games today, it seems. There's always a fun hero. All right, so the lanes, they've actually pushed Mirana and Bane to the top lane. That's going to have Anti-Mage in towards the mid lane for TEAMTEAM, and then down towards the bottom, Centaur will have to be functioning with the Phoenix, and that's a funny little squid. Afo's already going to get the rune, and Brax retreat away.
So, this mid matchup comes down to a mechanic that I'm not sure of, which is how does Counterspell function with bounces of Medusa's snake?
Does it actually block it when it hits you?
Well, what I think is going to happen is that it's going to lose mana, not take damage, and reflect a snake back directly to the Medusa. That will also deal damage to kill.
I suppose when it's in flight, it's so easy to trigger, right? Yep.
Wow, okay. That did nothing.
To both of them, right?
To both of them. Did it do no damage to either one?
It looked like it did no damage.
Level 1?
Maybe.
Well, the key thing is, though, it didn't bounce either, right? For Daxax, so he doesn't get mana back. Or does he? He got mana back. So, I guess it just cancels the snake effect.
That's like when we're like, hey, replay guys, can we just watch that level 1 thing in massively slow motion?
Yeah, I'm not even kidding, actually. If that's possible, we could do that.
All right, let's we'll make the request and we'll zoom in on the two of them, and that's what we'll get. All right, so let's just check it. Oh, okay, so here we go. This is that moment. So Mystic Snake will fire
here
now. Reflect, he loses nothing, and mana is still gained, but mana is not lost.
Okay. So,
where does the mana come from?
Damage?
Oh, meanwhile,
I didn't see damage.
We're not going to T2 on this because FNG is going to be the first blood in favor of TEAMTEAM, and Afo burning quite heavily inside the sprites, but he will be able to survive and salve up.
They did a really good job here applying all this pressure. You can see the lane pushing. The TEAMTEAM knows they're going to get level 2 first. Very important against Monkey King. You never want him to have creep equilibrium against you because then he's able to zone you almost 100%.
So, back to our mid-discussion. What actually happened there? Because the health of mana did not change of the anti-mage, but Medusa gained mana.
Yeah, I think it's just that it steals the mana and then brings it back to the Medusa, I guess. Unless it hit the archer first. I didn't see it hit.
But there was nothing stolen though, so it's like it just makes it out of thin air of
like
what should be stolen.
It's dark matter. That's what it is.
Oh,
it's dark matter. Can you explain dark matter?
No, I can't.
Then how can you expect Ice Frog to explain where that mana came from?
We can't just blame dark matter on everything. It's like why is FNG dying right now? Dark matter. Oh, Apo thinking about the slap down. Have they got enough control without the poison touch anymore?
Well, mad respect to Sammy Boy for this though. Like mid lane, the Medusa bodied his opponent in the previous match, and that was it Rio? No, it was Sammy Boy's PL. Now he's like, all right guys, look, I messed up. Give me it back. I'm gonna 1v1 this guy as Animage. How many players do you think of that have gone AM mid, right? Sumail, Arteezy, Burning, like all those players are really good. Sammy Boy says, look, boys, I can do the same.
Hey, you asked him to have diversity. It may not be in the heroes, but it's in the lanes. And now he just goes in onto the mid lane. That's That's a lot of damage, but funnily enough, when the mana disappears, it's not as great. But yeah, Orb of Venom early on.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I was going to comment. It's really strong in this matchup. And whenever you're playing an anti-mage that's going to be aggressive from jump, like it's 5 bonus damage per hit and a slow.
Yep.
Never bad.
May mean you get that 1 extra attack in by holding him up. But Anti-Mage is now 25-2 up against Medusa, 16-1. He has been very aggressive and he's burned a lot of money and consumables just to stay alive in the mid.
But it's so worth it for the XP advantage. As soon as he hits 6, this Deuce is going to go down.
Chasing after Brax, keeping the vision up, and the tree line's a little bit more difficult. Have to use the slime to slow him down. FNG, these attacks just trying to keep the poison touch on him, and it will work. FNG zoning out the Centaur, and there's very little that Phoenix can do to stop him. Tommy Boy's going to check for another. He also got really lucky with the runes. Hilariously enough, he got himself an illusion rune before, and then he just used the images to zone out the Deucer, just burn off that extra mana, so she only ended up having like 1 Mystic Snake left.
Got another Wraith Band. We'll have 2 on the AM, and he is strongest tier on map for sure. And one of the downsides of this Gambit lineup is, yeah, sure, Monkey King can go toe-to-toe later on in the game, but you don't really have an AM counter, much like we saw in the previous game where MagPA just sort of took over. I feel like Sammy Boy's Anti-Mage might be able to do the same here.
You don't think that comes through the control of Puck?
Oh, that's a good point. I forgot about that. That's a good comment. Because of the new change to Puck, Dream Coil now applies leashed for the full duration of Coil, which means that AM actually cannot blink out.
Yeah.
And I did not think of that. But now that I have, yes, you're right. That's actually crazy good Anti-Mage lockdown. You can't Manta it either.
Which is why you can actually see them farming up Puck. So Puck did end up becoming that 3 role.
It's good. I'm surprised we don't see more Puck knowing that. Because you can't do things like PA Blink Strike. You can't do a lot of stuff.
You can still, because I don't know how the leash works, because you can force stuff out of leash now when it comes to things like slot control. But obviously that shouldn't work with Dream Coil.
Yeah.
That would be a little bit too crappy for an ultimate ability. And so the laning phase, this is a lot more passive than we had for Game 1 and Game 2. This is a lot more chilled out. But this still feels like it favors like TEAMTEAM. Like the fact that you have an anti-mage who's getting further in front, and yeah, the Puck still needs to get the Dream Coil off, but if the Dream Coil misses, that's your one big ability, your control ability that's just gonna wreck you.
It is not for thee.
It's just that AM's doing so well in the lane. I feel like this is a problem for Gambit, but at the same time, like I expect him to be able to shove Medusa out a little more effectively, but they're still effectively they're just maintaining even CS. So that's fine for your Medusa, even if you are a bit behind.
Yeah. But when does the push or the attacks even come? Like when do you want to start to rotate in this game, or do you not?
Neither team really can. That's the thing. Kind of just one of those stagnant games where neither team drafted a hero that can make those sort of moves.
Yeah.
And sure,
I suppose like Gambit moves over, Brax hits level 6, and everyone just stampedes away. Yeah, it's
both teams have a hyper carry, a mid game carry, and a weird initiator that wants a blink. And until a lot of those things happen, there isn't going to be anything going down. Neither team really with the ability to aggressively rotate their supports either. And who do you gank, right? Medusa's going to have a billion mana mid. Anium's got a blink.
Yep.
Where do you really hunt?
Don't mind me.
Yeah. If you had something like an ES in the field, which had a silence along with it, that would work. But this is the old school combination. That's how you can hunt. Nightmare into Arrow. It is one of the simplest combinations of all. No way for Puck to dodge it. Meanwhile, Sammy Boy keeping the Medusa bone dry.
Into the jungle, Brax.
Yeah, what are you, Brax? Is he killing himself right now?
Nah, he's just I thought he was for a moment.
Well, he did go down to 40 HP. It wasn't looking great.
Yeah, he's gonna just get a lot of jungling in, which is nice. You always feel a lot better going to woods as an offlaner if you know that you have a 4 position like a Phoenix that can effectively take over your role and utilize the gain in both golds and experience. And a level 6 Phoenix is a game changer, and if they could both get 6 for the 10-minute mark, they're both 5 at the moment, it's gonna be really, really important for them moving into the mid game.
He seems like a really safe hero in the offlane too. Like you can always escape from any kind of gank that comes your way. So what you're talking about before, it's like, oh, I want to rotate to a lane to find a kill. It still remains the same.
Yeah. Also, I don't know, but how stacked is this group? I just realized you got NIP, King Gaming, Gambit, and TEAMTEAM.
Yep. Simple path for OG, right?
Yeah,
like, it was all randomly drawn though. Like they were seeded and then drawn.
I brought this up to you in the pregame, but just to put this on the record, I think a lot of people have forgotten the way holidays affect Dota 2 players. Up top real fast.
Nice double leap, actually pulling Immersion deep in behind the tower. That was a quick nightmare out as well. It's Newsom rotates over. The Spirits will connect onto all of them. FNG trying to get the life to keep him alive. Will start his TP out. Has anyone got a stun? No, they do not. So FNG, we able to TP back into the fountain to survive, and Tuskar is the only casualty. But they do get Phoenix to TP off the bottom lane. A nightmare from Mike. Oh, he had to jaunt up. He knew the arrow was coming. But it's a little bit too far to the side.
Long TP, and they didn't hunt for him. I think Mike would have certainly been able to find the sleep there, but you don't ever expect a 5-second TP. Anyway, just to reinforce, so y'all know I was the one that brought this up.
Okay.
Christmas.
Kyle is taking credit for something, and he's doing it on the B stream where everyone's going to know about it.
Every year, Dota has no true off season. All right, we ain't like Overwatch. We don't get 6 months off to go like hang out and I don't know, like ski and make weird avant-garde artwork. Right.
We also don't have to pay millions of dollars to compete.
We just play Dota all day, every day, except for that glorious 2 weeks per year that everyone's off. For the West, that's like the Christmas holiday into New Year's. It fell on just after weekends this year, so it's probably like 2 weeks off minimum. Every team here has taken, with the exception of eHome and King Gaming, because China traditionally takes their big vacation during the Chinese New Year, which is why, you know, the Shanghai Major, all those teams did bad. Why? That's right, they just got off vacation.
Yep.
We might have an unknown winner of this tournament solely due to the fact that I don't think these teams have been playing as much Dota as they had in days past.
Yep.
Looks like Gambit, like they took their last matches, they played that Winter Madness, but before that, like they hadn't played anything for a month.
Yeah. It was the, as I think you set up, the Katowice qualifiers.
Yep.
It's, you're right, downtime, the difference. And the fact that you actually have, like, this whole season happen and then China has their downtime. Like, the only thing that it's probably going to affect is the qualifiers for the next round of tournaments.
Yeah.
Which, I say the only thing, that's still a big thing. Like, we got a lot of teams that people thought would just get through in the, like, especially in the European qualifier, having both OG and NIP attending this minor. Not something that everyone wanted to have, including those teams. Anyway, 3-1 on the board, 11 minutes in.
Oh, unrelated, Toby, but just in case, oh, hang on.
Hang on, top lane. Another snowball in.
That's never gonna work.
The arrow, well, okay. Riora just really threw that arrow back in, wondering if anyone else from Gambit was just going to run into it. And they saw it coming from a mile away and they just back off.
No, sorry, it's just I've noticed a couple times, like, you'll be saying something and I'm listening, but then you finish and I have no idea what you said. And it's nothing personal, I promise, like, I'm there.
Yeah.
But it just... Man, there's a phenomena, I think it's just because of the smartphones and stuff, where you can, I swear to God, I can spend like 6 hours on Reddit or the internet, right? And have no idea what I looked at or what I did. It's just, you take information, it filters in and filters out almost the same breath. It's just pure... Well, the mind, yeah.
It's actually how the mind works. Like I learned this when I was doing an education course. Where most people's attention span, where they'll actually remember what they're watching. You like a Tranquil Boost movement on Centaur?
No, I'm just watching him toggle. I just haven't seen him in a while, now that you can attack while getting your Tranquils. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, so the attention span is about 3 minutes that you'll be able to look at something and then remember. Like it's and if you can stretch it to normally 5 minutes, but beyond that, retaining information is very, very difficult from that point, let alone keeping any kind of focus on what's being said. You'll always drift off. Like, it'll be a small little thing of like, oh, there's a shadow on the wall, and that'll distract you.
Wait, what?
Exactly. Point proven. Thank you, Kyle.
That's why I'm here.
See, he's actually listening while pretending not to listen. This makes it very difficult if you ever want to teach children anything. Why does it look like the mana didn't even just drain back or pull out at all then? This interaction seems really odd. I'd love someone to just try and break it down between Medusa and Anti-Mage to see exactly what's happening. We need Tsunami. Tsunami's really good at that stuff.
He is. I mean, tsunamis are great at breaking down pretty much everything, though. Like, how do you stop a tsunami?
That's the worst joke of our day.
It's not a joke. What do you mean?
Bottom lane initiation.
It's one of the most destructive natural phenomena there is.
Nice Fiend's Grip into the Supernova. Is there enough control? Meanwhile, you will lose Brax. Nightmare just wants to keep him in range with a stun, or at least attack and just fire sprite him up a little bit more. So Afro will fall. He's going to take the snap. Silence and control. Can't control long enough, and they'll have to jump 3 times underneath the tower. Snowball's coming as well. It's so deep. One charges have already kicked back up again. Has he got another one? Yes, he does. With the blink. That is very, very deep. The TP scroll is available, so he'll get out. Immersion will not be so lucky unless he can deny himself up to neutrals. Won't happen. Sammy Boy will find the kill, and Puck is TP'd out safely.
Real quick.
Did they drop a sentry ward to try and see him then? Okay.
Little things. One, that death on the Monkey King, because the egg was further back, he lost damage ticks. Thus, the Monkey King dies 7 seconds later. He's able to finish his Echo Saber. That's 300 gold he doesn't lose. Then top, because that kill took those extra couple seconds, IX Mike is late on the TP, is not there in time to save Ryoya. Little things, Toby.
So what you're saying is they should have nailed bottom lane crisper.
Indeed. The egg, you probably just didn't recognize, you know, you can egg while traveling to the tank tower hits with it. It's all good, but...
Dream Coil in 2. Brax is already on the hunt into the tree line. He wants to see who's here. Ice Mike at E8. It's a good observer. Ward's going to see a hell of a lot. They begin the Nightmare, and I think they are leaving Immersion for death. There is no doubt about that. A 5-second stun.
It's a cool play, though. And you can also see the difference in style, where Puck went for this super fast Blink Dagger, and even though he's the same net worth as Brax, his level and his power level just doesn't feel the same. He's 2 levels behind,
I think he's dead
he
again.
can't stay on map like the Centaur can.
Nightmare into long range arrow. Is that actually long enough?
Wow.
You bet it. What? Oh yeah, you 10 that, Puck.
Man, I love the way TEAMTEAM's playing, though. They're taking on what a lot of people said were the tournament favorites, and they have, it feels like, no fear and no chill either. They're already looking to recover this mid lane, too.
Man, I'm just loving this, just the way they've executed the draft and thought it through.
They're gonna
Ice Mike in a little bit of trouble. The Sunray trying to give a little bit of extra life will not happen. Yeah, 16 minutes in, Battle Fury is done. And while that fight's happening in mid and they force the rotations, damage into the tier 2 tower, I think Puck would like to have a crack, but because TEAMTEAM already have an Observer Ward down, they're just going to Moonlight Shadow. They walk it off.
Really well done, and they juke out both players. They see that Puck and Tusk have dust, and they're going to connect right towards mid. They did not see this coming.
So they push him bottom to then... Oh, okay, hello. Sentry Ward, luckily. Mirana actually accidentally can't control it. Split shot attacked.
Yeah, they don't want to make that play anyway. There's no Anti-Mage in the area. He's still farming. And you had no egg, thus your team fight's just really not there. But, man, this gets... TEAMTEAM have this late game. They have to. You got a 90 GPM talent on the Phoenix already up and running. He's going for Midas next. Your Anti-Mage has got Battle Fury treads double rate. He's got a Yasha in a moment. It's 17 minutes into the game.
If he gets that Mana Style by 22, 23, like, it's a nightmare for this Dusa.
And the Puck, bear in mind. Like, this hero just feeds. He'll take a couple Manta hits, get ulted, and he's just down.
Arrow was in the right place for the old position of Puck. He doesn't have a TP scroll for 13 seconds, and TEAMTEAM, they're fine with this. If Puck wants to run away, they'll just keep the pressure into the tier 2 tower. They have an Observer Ward, which Gambit they know nothing about. They put down 3 sentry wards looking for it, and they missed it every single time. Sammy Boy can just be that front line to protect the mid tower. Oh, okay, that's trouble, but then Stampede. Defensive use, and then jump in aggressively. It was a good phase shift, but then the Fiend's Grip out, combining with the Nova. They have to back up. They are out of range of it. Great Dream Coil means the TEAMTEAM had to stay exactly where they were, but Bane was the one to die. But as I was saying previously, Mirana is pushing the bottom lane. Wants the tower, wants to get out. So you lose the support, you hold your tier 1 tower in mid, and you take the tier 2 tower in the safe lane.
I think you take that. Good. We take those if we're TEAMTEAM. Man, IX Mike... You know, maybe you say it's been a while since he was at a LAN. Maybe it was a while since he wanted to come to one. Maybe he wanted to see if the competition was a little bit better since the last time he was on the scene. And if I'm sitting there captaining my squad in this game 3, I gotta be thinking to myself, maybe it's still a bunch of scrubs. I'm here with my gang of new bloods. They don't have jerseys, Toby. They've got old flour sacks, and they wrote TEAMTEAM on them.
That's actually literally what they're wearing. I cannot wait till everyone sees them on camera later on. It looks so stupid. That's so cool.
What?
You can be stupid and cool at the same time.
Did you see what Kanye wears, like, every day? He is the height of cool, alright?
And you're saying that TEAMTEAM's jerseys is the same level as the Kanye brands?
He wears a lot of things that could be misconstrued as just overlarge, like, trash bags. Like, you could have put, like, a little cloth. Like, those hoodies are huge, okay? He is a little man.
Alright. Hey, I ain't gonna diss you, Kanye. If Dota ever goes mainstream and Kanye's playing Dota, it's just like, hey, remember, Kyle's the first one to crap on what you wear.
Man, Ninja got to play with Drake. I'm gonna count myself lucky if I get to, like, I don't know, do a Joe Rogan podcast. That's actually the dream. That's how I'll know I've made it, Tobe.
No, I know we've made it once we can have Conan play Dota. He's already pretty much a gamer, so it's actually more. I'm living in more of a realistic world. All right, so everyone's just kind of slowing up the pace once again. Now that bottom tower is taken out, still a lot of pressure being applied by the Mirana. So it always feels like Gambit has to commit one person to being on bottom, but they can't TP down at the shrine to go for a gank because he's just going to Moonlight Shadow and walk away because that observed ward is still not found.
And it's a great way they're splitting the map, and this is something that you see teams just, they don't play together too much. Get right often. TEAMTEAM is in that they're planting their heroes in the right spots of the map. We saw in the first game, you know, even though they lost, Gambit did a good job of ensuring that the the Dragon Knight was between like danger and themselves. In this game, you plant Mirana bottom. At all times he holds TP. He never leaves. You run around as 3 heroes and your AM farms sort of around you in a pattern. And that's the recipe to success here for TEAMTEAM. And here comes the smoke that may just be the clash we've been waiting for.
That bottom lane, actually, just before this begins, it reminds me of Loader and how he used to play on the safe lane for Alliance. Hofstad, perfect control. Apo's going to go to the Wukong's command, jumps down, and they actually got the snowball off in time. No, they don't. Immersion will still go down. The Node is in a great spot. No one can stop this. FNG's going to get slammed in the stun by this. So will the Dooster, and they go after Apo. Nice dodge with the Mischief once again. The Hofstad won't do the work, but now they get the Dream Call off 2-man control. But where is the rest of TEAMTEAM? Can they come and help? It won't happen if Apo can just beat him down one by one. The puck's already waiting. Sammy boy, he's so low. He'll blink up. He needs to get out of here, and the orb is going to connect. Finds the kill from the puck. It still feels like a pretty even trade across the board, but you do have the anti-mage down. It's a 3 for 3, but anti-mage was the big one today.
That fight's 100% on Sammy boy, I think. Well, actually, the positive side was great positioning by Apo Ninja. He finished a secret defusal. They did not know he had a defusal. You can see here, look, Sammy boy does not pop Manta. So the kill does not come off before the snowball. Now the Manta goes off, but it's too little too late. And he runs around the outskirts of the Monkey King ultimate to ensure that he takes the maximum effective damage and mana burn from the Monkey King statues. And at that point, you're out of the fight. So how did he die? Did he come back in?
Yeah,
he must have.
So they were having their own battle on the top lane, then he walks back over, getting attacked by Medusa Illusions. He was so low from the very beginning. He was having his own little battle with the Dazzle, I believe. Yep. Well, so now Roshan, this is where Gambit have had issues against TEAMTEAM previously, but with AM dead for another 8 seconds, he does have the shrine to jump to, and Gambit are not the fastest Roshan takers. But they should still get through it. Anti-Mage is up. Does he begin his instant TP? He does not. They're backing out, and Sammy Boy's just walking it. Oh, jump in, Icarus dive forward, and now, well, they don't get the control just yet. The silence is over on the Phoenix. They'd love to back this up. He's got Supernova up, but IX might get E8. He was starting to put the little talons up to start the Nightmare, but it didn't go through. And Phoenix goes down. So, back to farming. He's building Skadi. Now onto the Anti-Mage. I was wondering if it actually builds something more like a BKB in this game, or Like if he just needs to get into the thick of the fights.
I honestly am not sure anymore. The problem is just the Monkey King. Like this hero counters Anti-Mage in a lot of ways, but most people don't really understand why. You see them go this weird like Battle Fury Scotty build and like try and out-ramp him or something. That's just not the way to do it. I think these exact items, Echo, Diffusal, BKB, because you prevent the Anti-Mage from actually itemizing against you. He needs the BKB to your point, or you're never able to fight the Monkey King because you're just gonna lose all your mana.
Yep.
But you just need too much.
Yeah.
And this is where the Monkey King Medusa comes in. You can't fight into the box if it gets thrown down.
Yeah. It's like he just needs time more than anything else. So he's able to get these next two big items so he can have Skadi as well as the BKB. But there's still enough damage output then coming out of your anti-mage that feels like very defensive items, and it's going to put more pressure on someone like the Mirana to get kills. This will help out the Nightmare Arrow combination once again with Brain Sap. The Snowball save, Brax in the neighborhood, but he's underneath the Sentry Ward. They can see him, but he cuts down the Monkey King. He chopped the tree. Sammy Boy right on top of the Dota. Needs to burn all the mana, able to do so, but the punch back in the middle of Wukong. Anti-mage, he will go down. And Gambit smell blood in the water, the Shark Circle.
Toby, he died without using Manta again.
He did.
He died without using his ult.
Thought he would have done that instantly. Jumped down, Afro looking for the attack. He goes towards Ice Mike 88 and he got him. Like, isn't that just what you do instantly? You burn off the Medusa, you drop it down, and then you just mana void. Get rid of this hero. Delete, delete, delete. Thank goodbye, Newsom.
Really well played there, Afro Ninja. And this is the draft. You get those initial kills, and now it's like, all right, guys, we're at your base.
Yeah. And they just push. Anti-Mage does not want to buy back. He needs to have these extra items we're talking about. He cannot afford to lose the money.
And this is the product, and even though they were winning the game, we were all on the board of the team train.
Yeah.
Look at the towers. Mid tower still up, top tower still up. When you don't take these initial objectives and you lose heroes, all of a sudden the enemy side is always going to be in a position to do just this and walk straight down your lane for a Rax. And there isn't a damn thing you can do because your lanes have allowed them that opportunity.
Yep. 25-minute mid-raxing. The whole thing will go down. Anti-Mage can respawn, but he's respawning into a world of hurt. He has to, like, there's so much now, like, a butterfly up for the Deucer.
Yep. Oh man, now you're screwed.
Yeah, that's just like, well, now I need an MKB as well. He's got Skadi and then Basher queued up at the moment, thinking that this will be the lockdown control, and maybe he can control the Monkey King. Maybe he can stop the Wukong command. Yeah. And maybe is that actually your target and it's not the Deucer? Jump Monkey King, pop your Manta style, so he's got nothing to give. It's not a big mana pool to burn off.
I think especially with the Crimson Guard finished on the Centaur, you can just ignore the Deucer. You can't, in a way. You kind of just want to like lead him away from your team on a merry chase as you kill the Dazzle Puck and the Monkey King. I think Dazzle's actually a critical hero to take out, but like, how do you actually do that?
Who's ganking who on bottom lane? Afro jumps off the trees. They see where he is, but the Dream Coil is out. Bane's the name. He got silenced up. He may be Invis, but he cannot help out. Snowball comes in for the follow-up stun into the Mirana, and Ike's Mike 88 to say, I wanted to do something here.
Ambitious move. Not pay out, alas.
It's that continuous bottom lane pressure. The difference between like the loader heroes I was talking about before, it's like he's always pressuring him. There's always a support nearby, and they've always got vision superiority. That vision superiority doesn't exist anymore, but this will work when everyone else from Gambit is up on top lane. But I think they're just looking to push in. Like, you've still got to do so with the Aegis the Immortal. You want her on the front lines, just beaten in.
Yeah, and Puck has buyback bots. If anyone's going to die bottom for trade, then it's going to be the Puck.
Wukong's off cooldown. Gets the initial slap onto the Bane. They're holding the Wukong until Team want to initiate, and the fortification will wear off.
Hey, you have no pressure here if you're Gambit. You're going to be able to just, you're taking a tier 3 for free. Bear in mind, Puck can buy back, but more likely, they get tower, they chill, and they B5 and go.
I don't
drop Wukongs.
They don't even need to chill. Like, it's just now.
He's ace.
Like, is Anti-Mage going to try and fight this one? Right now, the bottom lane is pressuring into the tier 3 tower, but you're happy with it with the Rax trade up on top. Not that it's going to be a Rax trade, it's going to be a tower for a Rax. And then hook stomp forward. They look, they found Monkey King, come through the tree lines. The new Afro was for the BKB and Wukong command. Now they're in so deep. Stampede away. Brax gets out. He does lose all of his mana and Snowball. Hello, you're coming back in again. It's, that went an interesting direction. Well, it's a spell shield jump or something, but either way. Medusa, remember, still has the, actually, no, Aegis the Immortal anymore. And that's why they want to jump forward. Brax, stun, snowball, triggered very, very quickly, but that's why Sammy Boy, still with the mana void available, still has mana style up, but now no mana available. Locked inside the shards, Mike tries to buy a little bit of time, but Sammy Boy cannot get out of the icy prison.
Really well played fight there by Gambit. You can just see them push and pull at team like a very methodical game of tug of war, and they're just going to take a second racks and probably the game off that. This is a perfect fight.
Yep.
Vlad's on the Tusk, by the way. He's 2,400 health. Double bracer, Vlad's treads, folks.
Oh, great double stun from Alpha. With Diffuser follow-up, Brax has a hard time just walking this off. Here goes your Snowball once again, and Immersion. Nightmare will try and delay it a little bit more, but that actually just stopped the Phoenix from doing any kind of damage. So Centaur down for 44 seconds. They cannot take the full lane of Brax, just the full Megas. And of course, the bottom lane has its Tier 1 and Tier 2 towers still up. But they got what they wanted. And just for my own sanity, what was that snowball that kicked back? My eyes must have missed it.
No.
It was the AM?
Initially on the AM.
Okay.
But he held the snowball for like a really long time.
Okay.
And then just blinked out effectively before it like reached duration. Because the visual stays a little bit longer.
FNG's nearby. He can shallow grave him up. Buy some time for Afo. He's going to have to BKB as well. Can he get the tree dance up? No, he cannot. I don't understand why he was still there when the rest of the team moved to the bottom lane to push in.
Typical Gambit over aggression. That happened.
But that's still 610 gold just pumping into a Mirana and a minute worth of space with a monkey down. And a BKB charge burn.
Yeah. But you're down 2x though.
Yeah, Team is still in a bad position.
Do you see the golds? By the way, that was a 7k lead. It's now 11. 30-minute bounty runes. How much gold are those worth again? A lot? Look, that was a lot of gold. Like, holy crap, actually.
What is that? It should be like 100, 120 per person, each bounty rune?
Yeah, so it's like 2k plus net worth. Immediately received.
And then the Aghanim Scepter up for Puck. No BKB will protect. It really doesn't matter what AM will go for.
It's impossible game for Sammy Boy to itemize, though I do not believe Scotty was the right choice. It had to be BKB, and then...
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea.
No, you said it right before, like, whatever item choice he wanted to go for, there was going to be a gap.
Yeah. And the problem is that once Medusa has this little bit of lead on you, she's just watching and waiting for how you itemize to make her own decisions. So she gets the butterfly. If she sees you're going for a butterfly, she can just go for an MKB. She buys her own BKB. Because she sees the Scotty, recognizes, look, I'm not going to get burst. I just need to effectively survive, get this off, pop my ults. We're going to win these fights. Oh. Nusham's going to have to come in huge. He's got maxed out Egg. He's got Shivas. Just used all of his spells, unfortunately. IX Mike.
He'll be the one who dies. Immersion jumps in, looks for the punch, flips him. And Vayne is down for 45 seconds. This is important as they look towards the Roshan spawn time. Looks like it's a little bit off, however, minute and 45 seconds before he'll be alive, but you already saw Gambit having a look. They're thinking about what's going to allow us to end this game and get ourselves that winner's bracket position. That means out of their last 2 series, if you win this one, the last 6 series, you just have to win 1, and you're into the winner's bracket. Which is definitely what you want. You do not want to have to play NIP and then either... I mean, possibly maybe Gambit if you lose if you're team. Yep. Yeah, Keen, NIP, and Gambit. Do you want to play any of those teams? I think you're good to take the easiest road you possibly can, because remember, it's only the top team who's able to qualify, who gets auto qualified into the major, who will board that plane to China. The bigger all or nothings we've got nowadays in Dota. Like winning, losing a major, you know, everybody's won majors, but I always felt like the qualifiers were more stressful than the actual lands themselves, because at least if you're at a LAN, you get to hang out. You know, it's a funny thing too. Like whenever you watch games in double elimination brackets, it's always a lower bracket final, which is normally more intense than the grand final, and it's for exactly that reason. BKBs are up, and well, they got the Miranda down. Space credit for Gambit. And it's the Axe Coil. He did not recognize its power. Time? Yeah. But it's normally the games where there's more risk. Like, Because what does a viewer normally care about? It's like, okay, you won or you came second. Like, that's not as much. But if you've got the goal of like, I have to reach the grand final, and this is the goal that everyone's working towards during the tournament, that's what you focus on. That's what everyone thinks about.
Yep. That's a good point. Until you're in the final, you're not thinking about winning the final. It's just like winning this match, the next match, etc., etc.
Yeah. So the expectation of every single fan is kind of like, it's to get to the grand final. And then you just hope for really fantastic Dota. But most grand finals disappoint. Most grand finals actually disappoint. The best matches are normally the winners bracket semis, lower bracket round 4, or the lower bracket final.
This past TI was the
It's the exception to the rule, apart from TI 3. And even then, TI 3, it was only game 5 that was really memorable. The other ones were very much just like back and forth. We're just moving through this before we hit that Dream Coil! Woo! Your Scepter! And Diascura even gets sniped out in the middle of this. Yeah, give it a slap. Two players down for Team, and they are in a bit of hurt, but Animate is still trying to lay this. That's why he's up at top lane right now, just creep skipping it out. He can even just take the T1 tower himself. There's no backdoor regeneration on that thing.
I would like to. I mean, you know Gambit's going to be bottom. I would like to see him try and kill some objectives here.
Yeah.
Or at least like sweep through enemy jungle, cut mid-wave, like
he
right
may just be
now.
really concerned that they're going to just TP in and gank him up, but like buyback's available. He's got 4.9k in the bank.
And they're going to get an illusion rune bottom now. Runes are spawning in 15 seconds, though. Those bounties are big. They'd give AM his item plus buyback.
Oh, there's your initiate. He doesn't care about that. You've got Mana Star to get out of this.
Yeah, this is good. He's just cutting the waves, though, because this prevents Sammy Boy's ability to like make anything actually like happen on map.
Partly, very efficient farming too.
Yeah.
Okay, you have no creep wave, Sammy.
Yeah.
don't look at the tracks.
He's making sure.
Is anyone there?
He's gonna finish his Abyssal though. That's big, but I just don't know if it's gonna matter. You got a Daedalus on Medusa, and an Aegis, and a BKB.
Well, Apo looking for the jump. Sammy wants the target. We'll see if he can actually get the Monkey King in this. Monkey King is hiding in the fog of war. They do not know where he is just yet. To get rid of this creep wave, but it's so difficult when Medusa just stands up on the hillside. The sentry wards everywhere, a quick smoke. Sammy Boy was not included in that. And now, Enfeeble, reduce some of the damage, jump into the back lines, they're going in. They want the kill over on the Dazzle. They've got it as well, but the Wukong's commander's out. Apo now turns on everything, and they're out of mana. The stun actually from the Nova is pretty decent, but you've still got the cheese and Apo. They are actually sustaining through this. They might find the kill, hit the tree, break him out of it, and they found an AM. It's gonna go down. 100 seconds on the sideline, and they can buy back now Gambit. Let the financial attrition help them win through. Good find the Centaur. More buybacks coming in. They just want to force the Megas. It's a good arrow, but it only now breaks the Eagles to the Immortal. All 5 players are up for Gambit. The respawning ones are coming back in. There's a great jump in for Silence, and with the Mystic Snake and the hit, Bane's out of mana. Not to mention an ultra kill. In for the Dota. Make it a rampage. Is it going to be a double? There's 3 heroes to choose from, and she just stands her ground with a Stone Gate. A double rampage for Dax. It is just way too strong, way too good. And Team, it's a triple rampage in for the Deucer. What a way to end Game 3. Gambit, it may have looked a little rough. Game 2 looked very good. Game 3, it was a war of attrition. It was a great draft, and they executed it to take themselves to that winner's bracket.